Hey guys, it's Ash. Welcome back to Southern Belle Gardening and Homestead. Today we're going to do another quick walkthrough in my garden. As you can see, it's pretty cloudy, but it's not completely cloudy, so maybe we can do a quick walkthrough. Get a little break from the rain. See the peaches, they're still moving along. That one's actually getting pretty big. Look at that guy. I just love these peach trees. They're so beautiful. And then, like I showed you last time, the bigger peach tree in the back, it's still got quite a few peaches. This guy I'm gonna have to come through and knock a few off because it's just absolutely loaded down with peaches. And there's a big one. And then, like I showed you guys last week, here is my squash. It's actually having a little bit of a struggle with mildew. So I'm gonna have to do a little research and figure out how to deter the mildew. I don't know if maybe it's because I've put this down, the straw or hay, and maybe it's collecting a little too much moisture. And that one's got quite a bit. So we'll have to do something to combat the mildew, but the point of this group is just to show the honesty and help others and show people some things that they can maybe look forward to in their gardens. This is my okra, and it actually seems to be doing really, really good. I've got a pretty good amount of weeding done today, but I'm not completely done yet. I'm not sure if you guys remember, but for those of you who might not have seen last week, this is my random Brussels sprout area that pretty sure I might have dropped some seeds and had an accidental drop smack in the middle of my melon bed. Now, last time I came through and showed you guys the garden, there was only one little melon. And since then, I've actually had a few pop up. Not on the end here, but we have this little guy. I've got this over because I was doing a little work and I didn't want to cut it because it's had a little bit of damage, like maybe somebody stepped on it on accident. I have 5 kids, so that's highly possible. There's one here, but I kept the mound there just so I could watch. I don't know that any seeds will ever emerge from there, but I've got that one, and then that one I know should have some, but as of yet, we have nothing in those mounds. And I found a seed that had come up here, so I put it back down in, and I'm hoping that over the next couple days or so, maybe we'll see a sprout emerge. And then we also have this guy that's come up. Now, it's wilting a little bit, so I don't know if maybe it's had some damage. On my little Smarties pack, I forgot to move. I actually had put some things beside them in hopes to keep from scraping them up while I was working on weeding them, which I highly recommend because I accidentally went too far over on the sunflowers, which I'll show you in just a second. These are my honeydew. Super excited. It looks like I've got actually another one coming in there I didn't even know about. But here's one, and I accidentally clipped it a little bit earlier. And he's got a little buddy coming up beside him. And then, well, that's actually what this was over here. That's under my my little hand tiller. And then there's one more here. This little guy's coming up. Slowly but surely, he's emerging. So it's real slow progress with the melons, but they're coming in slowly but surely. And then I still have my zucchini over here. It's doing awesome. It's about the same size as the squash. And these I actually did from seed. I'm super excited to see how well they've done. So that's a tip for anybody wondering on zucchini. It seems to be very, very healthy. Another one that's popped up. It was a little late. And then I planted sunflowers all down through here, and I think I may have accidentally squashed a bunch of them because I only have 3 that came up. Here's one, and I still have a good bit of weeding to do. And then here's number 2, number 3, and I can't remember this variety, but it's like your regular yellow sunflower. And I actually have also planted some chocolate sunflowers. I'll have to look know for sure the exact name, but I know they were called chocolate. They're pretty dark looking little sunflowers. I am a lover of rare seeds. And then over here we have the beans. And last time I brought you guys through here, these guys weren't even up yet. So that goes to show just in a matter of 4 or 5 days, these guys have emerged and they've gotten big pretty fast. And then right here near the beans, I planted some, these are where the chocolate sunflowers are planted. So it's gonna be fun to see those grow. I actually had planted sunflowers here last year and they did awesome. So I'm excited to see these. Very, very cool. And then over here we have the apple tree. If you remember from the last video, I talked about how I needed to trim this. Well, I noticed this morning that it actually fell, so I definitely have to trim it now. And maybe get it in a bucket or something. But now this is a little different from last time. I actually did quite a bit of weeding. And before you couldn't really see this row of potatoes, but you can see it pretty good now. And then here's those accidental carrots, or I shouldn't say accidental, my sister just planted them randomly in the craziest place. But they're doing awesome. They're getting big and huge. And then I have more potatoes. I'm loving the potatoes. They're doing really, really good. More potatoes. And then it's funny to me, you would think that these are planted at a different time, but they're really not. And I had put down some 7 dust, and I don't think it's actually working, because you can see here, there's a little bit of, got some pests going on here. So I'm gonna have to either apply a better layer of it, or get some type of natural remedy, something else that might work. Maybe I can try diatomaceous earth. Sure. But there's a little tip for those of you newer gardeners that are just wondering. You want to take control of pests because they are actually eating at my potatoes pretty fast. And that's just in a matter of a couple days. They did not look like this a day or 2 ago. It's wild. Still nothing from the strawberry patch, but I don't know if they just didn't take or if they just won't show till next year. Because I know they're supposed to take a year before you actually get strawberries from them. I actually had planted the strawberries once, and that's why I'm wondering if maybe they just didn't take, because I tried replanting them thinking that maybe they would have better luck, and I'm not so sure they did. I think they could possibly be dead. Here we have the onion and garlic bed, and it probably actually looks a good bit different to you guys. I've actually cleaned it up quite a bit. Before you couldn't really even see the lettuce. So this is something I've done a lot of work on. And as you can see, they're getting close. See the onions, they're getting those little pods on them. My lettuce is getting huge, so I may actually do a video on how to clip your lettuce, because I have a few things I've noticed, lettuce and kale, a few things that have got some things on them that really need to be trimmed up. And the lettuce, I think, might be finishing off. This is my garlic here. These are the garlic scapes I still need to do my video on, and they're actually getting quite sizely, so I'm definitely going to want to trim them soon. But I will be putting out a video that explains all about garlic scapes and trimming them up. Don't mind my dirty hands, but hey, garden life. A beautiful peach tree. This thing is just so massive. It really is. I need to walk all the way around it just to get over here. And then another new development that we have, my peas. They're getting huge, and this darn lemon balm, like I told you guys before, it's probably like tripled in size since the last video. It's huge. I'm gonna have to cut it down, move it, do something, because it's just literally just taking over. It's so huge. So this is a little tip for anybody that wants to grow mint. This is actually a form of mint, if I'm not mistaken. Mint, This lemon balm, oh, they're all so evasive. So evasive. But back to the peas. I get sidetracked far too easy. They are moving along and they've actually got their little pods now. You can actually see where the peas are growing. It's pretty cool. This one's pretty big actually. You can see little pea babies in there. That's exciting. This is actually my first year for growing peas. That one's pretty huge. They're getting there. But this is my first year for growing peas, and it's only actually year 2 for me in the garden completely. So a lot of this is new to me. And that's why I walk around questioning things so much, because I really don't know a lot of it. But that's the point of this channel, is to learn and grow together. I'll be very excited when I get the first pea. I'll definitely have to come out and show you guys when we get our first harvest. Very cool. There's the huge lemon balm that just has to overrun everything. My kale, I trimmed it a little bit, and it's already grown back just that fast, so just a little warning for you. Kale grows fast. And I definitely need to do some more weeding in this. A lot of this actually, I believe, is ready to be cut out, like this lettuce I was talking about before. I think it's reached its peak, and it's actually, I don't know much about lettuce. I grew it last year, but it didn't do this. This is a new development. I'm thinking these little pods may actually be seeds for the next round of lettuce. I'm hoping so. I'll have to take one in and cut it open and just see what it does. That would be a neat little thing to explore. Why not? We'll just take this little guy right here off. And I'll try to remember to add that into the video so you guys can see too. I'm excited to find out what that is. We have here the carrots and weeds that I still desperately need to get a hold of. But I have weeded so much lately, I just haven't had time to make it to this. And I desperately need to before I don't know the difference in my carrots and my weeds. It's almost getting that way at this point. They look so similar. Ooh, I have a lot of lettuce. Definitely gonna do a separate video on harvesting some things. Here's our beautiful blueberries, still moving along. And as I said before, this is the one that I started a couple years ago. And I just love the fact that the second one that I bought to the side here, it's the same size. It's super cool. It actually gets more berries, so it might be a little bit older actually. I just love it though. It's super cool. Super cool. I actually caught enough of a break from the rain to finish my video. Kind of excited about that because I really didn't think that was going to happen. Here is that second pot of grapes that I told you guys about before, and unfortunately I haven't had a chance to get it in the ground yet. I worked so hard on weeding, I didn't make it to that or the second pot of blueberries, so that's something I'm gonna have to work on, finishing getting things in the ground. There's the onion bed from the back. This is that beautiful Rose of Sharon I told you guys about, but unfortunately it doesn't have its flowers yet. You guys will love seeing that when it does get its flowers. I have the thornless raspberries I showed you guys last week, and hopefully you can see them a little better this time. I weeded them quite a bit. They're moving along pretty fast. Last week we just had the one little flower, and now quite a few of it has bloomed out. They are getting ready to make some berries. It's super exciting. I can't wait to show you guys the berries. And of course, here's that Bradford pear, and it never gets pears, it's just real pretty. Kind of makes you wonder why on earth it's called a Bradford pear when it doesn't get pears. It's something to look up. Be interesting to see. And here's this funky little tree. I'm not sure what on earth the thing's called. Like I was saying before, it's funky looking, but for some reason, I really like it. Here's a little baby that I'm guessing started a couple years ago, and it's starting to grow. Pretty cool. It's almost like some kind of funky Dr. Seuss tree, but I like it for some reason. And then we have the Bradford pear. And then we have the tomatoes. They are starting to accumulate quite a bit of weeds. I'm really gonna have to get in here and get those weeded. Hopefully the weather will permit finishing of this video. This is the black from Tula that I showed you guys last week. It's an MI Gardener seed. It is growing very rapidly. Very, very awesome. here we have the German pink. It's grown pretty fast too, actually, and it's a lot of these tomatoes are looking a lot healthier than they did last week. I'm thinking that the Sevin Dust really helped them for the most part. Some of them still have little bugs, but not real bad. Here is one Cherokee Purple, and it has started developing a lot of blooms, which is a huge plus because, as you know, well, some of you, those who don't know, these blooms are where your tomatoes are going to pop up. And here's my second Cherokee Purple. It also has a good little bit of blooms. They have gotten pretty big though. Growing. And then this is the guy that I was telling you guys is random. It's going to be interesting to find out what it is. I'm pretty sure it's a red tomato. I just don't know for sure what kind. And that's why I moved it over here near the red ones. All my purples and blacks are in this little corner here so that they get the most sunlight. And that's the second random. Actually, I forgot there's two. This is my mortgage lifter, and I finally got it staked up, and it looks like I might actually need to stake it up a second time on the top here. But this is that little tomato. It hasn't grown a whole lot. And I noticed it had a blossom on it, so I'm thinking it had a problem when developing. That's what it seems like. Any of you that may know, feel free to leave a comment, because I am definitely no expert gardener and I have no clue. I'm hoping this helps teach people as much as it does me. But there's a brand new little baby coming in, and then here's the two other ones that I showed you guys before. They are moving along quick. So excited to harvest those, I can't wait. And then here's the other mortgage lifter, and another new development. It actually has its first tomato on here. So these things, oh, I did not notice this one yet. It has two. Awesome. These things, I have to say again, I gave them props last week. I'm giving them to them again. These tomatoes are all the first to get tomatoes. Let's see if number 3 has a shocker on it. Oh, this isn't the other mortgage lifter. I forget. This is a red pear. I don't know why I put the red pear in between all the mortgage lifters. But hey, tomato's a tomato, right? Right. It's getting a little tomato baby too. Super cool. That's awesome. They are all moving along so fast. That is just awesome. Here is the other mortgage lifter. And let's see. Oh, it doesn't have one yet. But if you look at the difference in the blooms, you can tell it's developing. So that is super cool. By the next video, I can guarantee there will be tomatoes on this tomato plant. And then here we have the Roma. I'm really hoping to get some sauces and stuff made out of this one, because I've heard this one is awesome for sauces. So let's hope it works out. It's pretty big. They're all growing pretty good. I mean, some of them have a little bit of damage here and there, but you can't expect perfect tomatoes. That's just a super hard thing to achieve. Perfect, especially like all of them. Mr. Stripey here is moving on along. No blooms yet, but I have faith he'll get some pretty soon. And then over here we have the Beefmaster. Let's see. Looking good. This is the Oxheart. And I'm pretty sure that soon we're going to have some development happening here. Looks like it's about to produce some blossoms. Super cool. Very exciting. Then we have the Amish paste. And same thing with it. It doesn't have any yet, but it definitely appears like it's trying to get ready for some blooms. So that's cool. Looks like we're getting some suckers. And so for those of you that don't know, a little tip that I learned from Roots and Refuge. You're supposed to actually pick these little suckers on the inside in the armpit of the tomato off. Now, if you leave one and it grows enough, you can actually put it in water and root another tomato. So that might be a future video. And the peppers, they're doing pretty good. They still get a little bit of bugs on them from time to time. so I may actually have to do a second roundup with them, just like I talked about some other things through here that I've noticed. But other than that, we're doing pretty good. That and the weeds. Always weeds. Always, always. Bell peppers. And then my one lone chili pepper. This guy's actually gotten pretty big. Last time it looked a lot weaker and smaller. It's really thriving now. There's my empty spot. And then here, beautiful, beautiful black pearl. And I wish this thing would blossom. Every time I come to take a video for you guys, it never has blossoms. Which is, oh, it's on the other side of it out. Oh, kind of. See how beautiful that thing is. Oh, I just love it. When the sun hits it, it just shines. I can't wait to see. It says it's ornamental, and it said online it's supposed to be peppers and it's super spicy. It's going to be interesting to find out if that's true. You can't always trust what you read online. Unfortunately. My market more cucumbers. They're probably quite big since the last time I showed you guys, because I feel like they've gotten a lot bigger. I think this one is dying. I think it's got stick on or something. So if you look at it compared to the other, it doesn't quite fit very well. But here's our pink cucumbers. And actually, there's one awesome little development that I've noticed on this one. I had to tie it up because it just kept falling over. And the tendrils, it only has one little guy here that's helping it to stay up. So it's having a teeny bit of a struggle with learning to grab, but it'll get there. I have faith in that. It's doing pretty good. I thought this one had a little cucumber baby on it, but it might actually be the other one. I'll check the other one. Let's move along though. And then I honestly think when I weeded this, I thought, this looks just like my potatoes. And I don't know how I would have ended up with a random potato near the cucumbers, but I think it happened. I've had a lot of oopses this year in my garden, but good oopses. And then a couple more of the market more, which are just regular cucumbers. They're not for pickling or anything. They're your typical cucumbers that you would buy in the store. And this one has quite a bit of blossoms. Oh, actually, there it is. There. Pickle baby. I'm so excited. That was awesome. So cucumbers are moving along. And then I noticed this morning that I'm finally, I didn't know if this would ever happen actually because I've waited so long. But I finally have sprouts for the gourds, the loofah gourds, sorry. But the loofah gourds here that I got from Emma Gardner, and they are doing awesome. I'm very excited about that. Actually, let's see. Let me check this side yet. Oh, yeah, I've got one. I've got one down here too. Keep everything. Oh, two! That is so exciting. This looks like it could be a third, maybe. No, that's a weed. But yeah. Oh, there's one. I don't know how I missed that guy. He's huge. But they're moving along. Pretty awesome. Very excited about that. I don't know if I told you guys, but I thought this was going to be a rose bush. And I actually thought it was going to be nothing at first, and I was going to kill it. And then I thought, well, maybe it's a rose bush. Turns out, it's another blackberry bush. But the cool thing is, it's a blackberry bush in my garden. We have them all over the property. This is the only one that developed in the garden, and I just love it. Oh, it's starting to rain on me. No. I have to finish up. Gotta love the weather in Tennessee. 1 minute it is sunshiny, and the next second it's raining. Like there could be a total thunderstorm roll in, and then in 2 seconds it's like it just could disappear. We get crazy weather. But this is, I think it actually started from that bush. This goes to show you that blackberries, this is a wild blackberry. I don't know if I said that, sorry. These are wild blackberries and they go everywhere. But hey, then you get delicious blackberries. And this is another new development since the last video. Those green beans that I've been waiting on, my pole beans, finally came in. And I actually planted with them some chocolate sunflowers. And they're all doing really good. Everything is doing good. Everything's moving right along. My gladolias are really desperately gotta weed those though. I've put so much work into the garden and not enough into my flowers. But everything seems to be moving along. And at some point, I've got to get these planted over there. I guess I could do those with the blueberry and grapes. Well guys, I'm getting rained out unfortunately. So I guess this will be the end of this garden video. So I'll see you next time. Get out there and get gardening. So this is actually the next morning, but for those of you who have ever considered living in the country, this is one beautiful view that you'll get to wake up to sometimes.